From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Sunday, December 7th, 2014. Silver is trading at $16.31 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,192 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $378. Antiwar.com reports, in a move seen by many as an attempted retaliation against the announced execution of a U.S. journalist by al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, the U.S. launched a drone strike against the southern Yemeni province of Shabwa. 9 people were killed in the drone strike, and while none of them were conclusively named, Yemen referred to them as alleged al-Qaeda militants. The journalist, Luke Summers, was the target of a failed U.S. rescue operation last week and was reported to have been executed by al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, along with a South African aid worker. The U.S. has been launching growing numbers of drone strikes against Yemen, killing a number of people, but as with the drone war everywhere else, it is extremely rare for anyone to be named. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Bitcoin Not Bombs. Bitcoin Not Bombs is a launching pad for nonprofits and social entrepreneurs into the financial freedom of the Bitcoin economy. Bitcoin Not Bombs is fully committed to being the hub of the nonprofit sector of the Bitcoin economy, maximizing the potential cross-promotion of all our clients and commercial partners. To learn more, visit bitcoinnotbombs.com. Reuters reports New Mexico regulators on Saturday hit the U.S. government with more than $54 million in fines for violations at a nuclear waste facility where a fire broke out and radiation was released in 2 mishaps earlier this year. The state found 37 violations of its hazardous waste permits on the part of the U.S. Department of Energy at the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant near Carlsbad and the Los Alamos National Laboratory in Santa Fe, according to documents released by New Mexico's Environment Department. New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez said in a statement, "The health and safety of New Mexicans will always be our priority, and we will have to hold federal agencies accountable for safe operations in the state." The New Mexico Environment Department also found that the response by the contractor and the Federal Energy Agency were less than adequate. The state fined the Energy Agency $17.7 million for violations at the plant and $36.6 million for lab violations. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. UPI reports from New York to Tokyo and across the United States, thousands of protesters continue to take to the streets, fueled by anger over what they say is rampant police brutality against minorities. The waves of angry protest, some planned on social media on short notice, have been raging on since Ferguson, Missouri grand jury decided not to indict a police officer in the August shooting death of an unarmed 18-year-old Michael Brown. 9 days later, protests spread to New York when a grand jury there declined to indict a police officer in the chokehold death of Eric Garner. At the same time, activists are on edge as a Brooklyn, New York district attorney announced he will ask a grand jury to look into the death of Akai Gurley, an unarmed man who was shot by rookie officer in a housing project last month. More protests were planned for Saturday night. Vocal marchers blocked traffic in New York City, Washington, and Boston. In Miami, protesters shut down Interstate 95 and disrupted the international art show Art Basel. Protesters also staged a die-in in an Apple store and Macy's in New York City. While many of the protesters continue to be generally peaceful, 20 people in New York City were arrested for disorderly conduct and blocking traffic Friday night after the third night of protest. Activists passed out a list of demands, which include all officers involved be fired and a special prosecutor be assigned to investigate the excessive force complaints. In Tokyo, protesters carried photos of Brown and signs reading, "America, the world is watching," and "Tokyo stands with Ferguson." Protests are planned for 4 states, including Pennsylvania, Texas, and Minnesota in the coming days, according to the Ferguson National Response Network. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.